in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. We're having a great day today. We're at Radio Center along with Jonathan Dent. John, how you doing?
Staying warm.
Yeah. Boy, that east wind is,
yes.
I'm sorry, it's cold.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was looking at the wind chill, and I think we were looking at, low 20s again for wind chill around here?
Yep, we got 23 right now.
Yeah, what do we have on the thermometer?
Well, actual temperature out at the airport is 33, downtown Midland's at 34. Here at Radio Center, we're also at 33. But yeah, that wind out of the east at 14 miles per hour, knocking down that wind chill quite a bit.
The wind is going to continue to go up gradually over the next few hours, and it is going to take a little bit more of a southeasterly turn as we go into the nighttime hours, but that doesn't mean that the winds are going to die down at all. We're looking at wind gusts tonight and early tomorrow morning about 40 miles per hour, which is going to be real interesting given the fact that we're going to have some moisture move through here late tonight and early tomorrow morning. So that morning commute, I'll give you a pass for about a half hour. All right.
I'll get the skis out.
Yeah. Yeah. Get the chains out.
Yeah, that's better.
It looks like the further north you get, the more accumulation of ice there's going to be. And then the west. So along that 127 corridor out toward Lake Michigan, they could get about 0.2 of an inch of ice in that part of the state. But it's going to be short-lived because the temperatures are going to warm up along with what's going to turn out to be a south wind as we go through the day tomorrow. So we're starting off east, pick up a little bit in intensity, become a little bit more southeasterly, pick up a little bit more in the way of intensity. And then overnight, it'll be southeast gusting to 40, 45. I've seen a couple projections of 50-mile-an-hour winds around here. So we'll just see what happens. But that's going to be very short-lived. It's not going to be a sustaining 30, 35, 40 with gusts to 50. That's not going to be the case. It'll gust for maybe a couple of hours and then it'll taper off. And as we go through the day tomorrow really doesn't look like all that bad of a day. Temperature-wise, about 41, 42 degrees, some spotty sun tomorrow afternoon. Precipitation is going to end in the morning, whatever we do get. The reason why is because, first of all, we have a low-pressure system, which is over Minnesota, will be over Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin during the day tomorrow. It's going to deteriorate. It's going to wind down because it'll be taken over by a low-pressure system in the Tennessee Valley. That's the one right now that's beginning to form, and the reason why they've been getting all the tornadoes down south. Yesterday, we talked about 15 tornadoes, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, a little bit of Arkansas. Overnight last night, we had 11, I believe it was, 13, more tornadoes moving a little bit further to the east. And tornadic activity is actually going to be around Orlando, Florida, northern sections of Florida, moving into the day tomorrow before all of that moves up the East Coast. So the Carolinas are going to get hit with a lot of rain and a lot of wind, Virginia, and then move up into the mid-Atlantic states, eventually into the Northeast, and then out. This whole thing is going to move out rather quickly because cold air, we've been talking about it, up in Canada, that's going to make a presence, not just for the northwestern 35 to 40% of the lower peninsula or the lower continental United States, but it's going to cross over a good portion of the continental United States on Sunday and into the week before Christmas. We're going to have below average temperatures all the way down to the Gulf Coast. I think for the most part, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina anyway, they're going to be okay as far as normal average temperatures. But for us around these parts, It is going to be one heck of a struggle. What's average for this time of the year? 35 in the afternoon, 24 at night. 62 is the record high in the state, set back in 2015. The record low, 10 below zero, set in 1904. A year ago, 46 was our high, 29 was our low. No precipitation to talk about. But as I said, as we go through the next few days, on again, off again, chances of precipitation, flurries around on Saturday, flurries around on Sunday. The big change after Friday, which will be an average temperature day, scattered snow showers late in the day on Friday, moving into the weekend. Low 30s for a high on Saturday, low 30s for a high on Sunday, 30, 25, whatever, for a good portion of the work week next week. So remember that forecast I had, what was it, about 3 weeks ago about a white Christmas?
Yeah, I asked you what the chances were, and you said it was a pretty good chance. Is that keeping up?
Yep.
There we go.
Yep. Matter of fact, I just took a look and they say 70% chance
There we go.
of a white Christmas. So we'll see how that all comes about. I think
We'll keep dreaming.
I think Santa's going to have some clear sledding this
Yeah.
year. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Coming up, who have we got?
We'll talk with Cody Harris from Star of the West to kick off our market report. Then, as always, Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. But first, our market report today, our weather report today, brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Getting ready for 2023, Mr. Farmer? Maybe those plans should include a stop by the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency, because risk management is what it's all about. A lot of folks did okay with that risk management this past year, and they are going to be working with the Sarr Agency once again this year to make sure that you're protected against the bad things and take advantage of the good. Remember, the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency is licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. You can get a hold of the agents on their cells for questions or emergencies, or call the office in Reese, 989-868-4722. We say good morning to Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Cody, how's everything going?
Everything's going well this morning here, guys. How about yourself?
Hey, we're doing great. And John's staying warm. He's got his hoodie on, so we're all set.
I'm with him with that one. I got my sweater on, got the heat cranked up here in the office, trying to do everything we can do.
Hey, there you go. So the markets must be red hot too, right?
Oh, I wish I could say that this morning, Terry, but let's say we got a little bit of a pullback here midweek, and then kind of jumping right into it. Let's see, cash wheat we got, that's down 4 here this morning, 702 on the white, 652 on the red. Look over at new crop 23 wheat, that's down 4 as well, 742 on the white, 692 on the red. Look over at cash corn, that's down 4 as well, 595 on that. Then look over at new crop 23 corn, that's down 1 at 540. Look over at cash soybeans. I'm going to call them actually up 1 here at the moment at 1406, but new crop 23 soybeans, those are down 1 here this morning at 1326.
The soys were a little bit stronger earlier, weren't they, Cody?
Yeah, soybeans are strong a little early. Looks like they might be getting a little strength here kind of as we approach the noon hour. Like I said, just coming back into the green. That market right now, tomorrow we got the National Oilseed Producers Association. They're coming out with their November crush number tomorrow. A lot of the trade is looking for that crush number to be around 181.5 million bushels. That may be down from last month or October, which was at, I think, 184.5 million bushels. But I think as it stands, if they came out with that 181.5 number, that would be the 9th largest crush ever. So I think that market itself is trying to figure out where that number is going to be and kind of seeing where demand is going, especially with kind of the uptick in renewable diesel capacity. So that's really kind of driving that soybean market. But everything else seems to be pressured kind of by some inflation news. I know right now the trade is really awaiting the Federal Reserve's decision this afternoon. Expectations are that they might ratchet down the 7th interest rate hike to 50 basis points this time, kind of on the heels of the less threatening, but still maybe a formidable inflation news that we got yesterday from the CPI. And that's definitely going to have an impact on the dollar's direction, which will impact definitely corn and wheat as we move forward.
All right. Good information. Cody, have a good one. We'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
You bet. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Doug Klein, ready for action, John?
We're going to head on over to Oppenheimer and talk with Doug in just a moment. But first, the market report today brought to you by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. Are you ready to upgrade to a new Ram truck for your family farm? Now is the time to order your new Ram 1500, 2500, or 3500. So you should see the folks at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. They're the Great Lakes-based certified ag dealer. They specialize in all models of new Ram commercial trucks and vans. Ordering is the way to go. You can buy with confidence from Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Also by Thumb Bank. They've been serving agriculture for over 125 years with 2 locations in Bay City, also Cass City, Caseville, Pigeon, Bad Axe, and Marlette. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Well, Doug, how are the markets doing today?
Well, crude oil is rallying, but it's not really breaking out. Around $77 a barrel. I checked the charts, and that's kind of where resistance is. It's still trending under the line, so maybe this will be a failed rally attempt. Depends on the direction of the dollar, of course. Depends on the speech of the Fed, and I believe that's around 2:15 today, something like that. It was a 2-day meeting. Probably getting a half a point. I know the EU raised interest rates by a half a point yesterday, and so that kind of put the kibosh on their markets yesterday. Kind of took the shine off our markets yesterday too. But one of our guys in New York said that just based on past performance of the stock markets after a down year, when the market does not recover in the year that it goes down more than 10%, the next year is usually, as in 90% chance, rallying in the next year. So 2023 may be a better year for the stock market. We'll see. We certainly could use a breather. But, other than that, not a lot going on. Kind of like I said, waiting for the Fed. So here's your numbers. The March corn is 650. That's down 3.5. September of 23 corn is 607 3/4, down 1.5. The March soybeans 1485 3/4, up a penny and a quarter. November of 23 soybeans 1391 1/2, down 1/4 of a penny. The March wheat is 745 1/4, down 5.5. And July of 23 wheat is 762 3/4. That's down 3 cents. The crude oil 77.17, up $1.78. Heating oil is 315.82, up a dime. Gasoline 222, that's up 6 cents, and kind of sort of would say like 286, 287 at the pump. So we're kind of sort of almost there.
I got to tell you something about the gas.
Well, it's
last night, stopped by and started pumping the gas, and I'm sitting in the car and I'm looking at some stuff and I hear the click, and I kind of turned around and looked, and here it was like $41, $42, and I said, son of a gun. That thing is always clicking all the time. It's not full yet. So I went back out, clicked it back on, so it's going click, click. I look at the gallons, and I had pumped about 19 gallons. And I'm looking at the dollar amount. This isn't registering at all here. I don't get this. Then I realized that the price was 89 or something.
Uh-huh.
And I look over at the guy on the other side of the pump, and he says, it happened to me too. He says, I don't believe this.
Well, you're welcome. I filled up my car at the beginning of the week when it was still 350 or whatever. So, of course, that's why it drops.
That's my luck. That's my luck, Jonathan.
There you go. Oh my! Sorry to interrupt, but I had to stick that one in.
Yeah. So on the natural gas is 5.72. That's down 35.5 cents. That's a big mover down, and that's always volatile, and especially with the two Vladimirs fighting it out over there in the Ukraine. So, did you know they're both Vladimirs? I thought that was interesting. They spell their names different, kind of like whatever.
No, I didn't. The only one that I ever knew was the hockey player.
No, not him. Not at all.
No.
No, Vlad and Vlad.
Oh,
That's
I see.
Kind of funny.
Okay.
I just saw that yesterday. I'm like, they must be related. Over to currencies. Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys 135.56 at the border. That's up 7 ticks. The dollar buys 134.90 yen. That's down 67 ticks. The euro's at 106.55. That's up 25 ticks, and that's got to be pretty close to a dime higher than it was not very long ago. So that's quite interesting. The dollar's at 103.72. That's down 25 ticks. Gold's at 1812.40, down $1.50. Silver's 23.95. That's up 15 cents. Platinum's at 1038.30, down a whole 60 cents.
All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you later, Doug.
Good luck.
You bet. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. I would think you've been doing this farm show long enough here, Jonathan Dent, that you'd figure out, when's the time to buy and when's the time to sell.
You'd think. Well, the time to buy is right after Doug buys, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Who we have on the line now?
We're going to head on over to Bay Landscaping and Garden Center now, where we find Jerry Samolsky. Jerry, good morning.
Hi, Jerry.
Jonathan, Terry, good morning.
How's everything going?
Wonderful. We're getting ready for this cold spell going to come up next week, and we've talked about wrapped plants. I just want to reiterate, if you happen to have to wrap a plant or think you need to, please do not use plastic. Burlap is probably your best choice. If you want to use it for an animal deterrent, then snow fence works fine, a lot of things. But plastic is not a good thing. That'll cause a greenhouse effect and get things to warm up and plants to break bud at times you don't want them to. So as we get colder, if you need to be wrapping plants, now's the time. This is last call because I think ground's starting to get hard. Stakes will be hard to get in the ground. So last call for wrapping plants.
All right. The plant of the week tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll talk to you then. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Sugar beet growers, do you have problems with nematodes? Well, then you need to know about Hilleshog's latest nematode-resistant variety, NIL 3223NT, bred for and trialed here in Michigan. 2332NT is high yielding with high sugar and offers one of the strongest root disease packages available. That means you can stop worrying about nematodes, rhizoctonia, and root aphids. Contact your Hilleshog agent and find out how you can make your farm generation strong by planting Hilleshog. We'll talk to Ed Garber from Nutrient Ag right after this.
How do you make the most of your land? Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask the Wrens or the Caggianos, who run with us on John Deere mowers, they'd tell you.
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
Get as much done in advance as possible.
I jump out of the house, a cup of coffee, and I'm at work.
But the Upshaws, the Hubbards, and the Allens who work behind the wheel of John Deere compact tractors would say,
something that's worth doing isn't always easy.
If it's something you want, just go after it and try it.
And most of all,
I'll make the earth take the shape that I want it to take.
Then there's the Nelsons and the Mosers, who may mention from the seat of their Gator UTVs.
It's important to just take it one day at a time.
You can't be all working up, right?
The most fun we have on the Gator is just ripping around the property.
It's a way of life.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's 11 locations in Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Caro, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Rochester Hills, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
You got an old tractor, you want to make it work, or you well, better yet, you want to make it look pretty. A lot of folks like to show off their old tractors, and a lot of folks are asking Steiner Tractor to provide them with those new parts for that old tractor. You know, you kind of get the idea. It doesn't seem to make any difference how old that tractor is. The chances are Steiner Tractor can help you out. 800-234-3280 or go to their website, steinertractor.com. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They can help you with lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Stop by any of their conveniently located offices and find out how they can be your hometown financial solution. Find out more by going to frankenmuthcu.org. I have the opportunity to talk a little bit with Ed Garber here with Nutrient Ag Solutions. Ed, we're winding down toward the end of the year, but you guys are winding up as we approach the end of the year. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Terry. How are you?
Real good.
Well, what's going on? Just knee deep in making plans with farmers. I heard you mention earlier, you know, by this time, all these years, you should know when to buy, when to sell, and wow, that's a crapshoot still. So, you know, filling tanks, layering in product, hoping we get on the right side of the market, as are the farmers, right?
Right. Now, from what I understand, product, we're having better access to products nowadays. Is that true?
Yeah, a lot of the supply issues have kind of worked themselves out. You know, we're not back to pre-pandemic levels, and I don't think we ever will be. The industry has changed. There's more right-on-time deliveries. There's not stockpiles like there once were, but logistics have straightened out. Manufacturing kinks have straightened out. But, you know, the importance is communication is still key. Importance of that is, I can't stress that enough, because just changing on a dime and changing quickly isn't as easy as it once was.
You know, we always used to, before the end of the year, lock in some pricing. Of course, a lot of things have changed since then. What are we looking at right now with you folks?
Yeah, I know some our locations are offering prepay on certain products they're not. It's just that's a function of what suppliers and manufacturing are allowing us to do. And obviously, a lot of the markets are very volatile. So there's a lot of products we just don't know what to do. So, you know, we offer a lot of prepay selections. We do some interest-bearing prepay, some product-specific prepay if it makes sense. And, you know, again, the key is just communicating with whoever you're working with, your supplier, to make sure everybody understands the needs and try to help you get in the best position you can.
Good advice. Ed Garber, you take care. If I don't have a chance to talk, Merry Christmas to you, okay?
You bet. Same to you. Thank you.
You bet. Ed Garber with Nutrient Ag. We'll be right back. Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444. John, farmers learning a little bit over in the Ubley area. Thumb Ag Day is going on right now at Ubley Heights. So if some of you are on your way over there, the event continues right up until about 3:30 this afternoon. They've got RUP credits and CCA credits available for that. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, makers of Exceller Meal since 1991, which is a high bypass soybean meal to maximize your dairy herd's production. Find out more by contacting the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the premier kitchen